What's going on, guys? Shake and Bake back, and today we've got a serious topic. I was on Twitter yesterday. You guys can see it says, who's the #1 out of Bleacher Report's top 30 shooting guards at the halfway point? Now, yesterday they did one that was top 30 point guards. Now, that list was completely terrible, in my opinion. Again, this is all my opinion, and the same guy is writing this list and multiple more lists, and he must be fucking stopped! I'm not just being a hater. I don't personally know this guy. We'll talk about him a little later on, and we're gonna even look at some past articles that he's wrote, and some of the things he says is just like, how is this guy an NBA writer? How? Let's first start with this article right here. This one that says the top 30 shooting guards. Let's click on this and let's see who he has as the top 30 NBA shooting guards at the halfway point this year. Okay, let's see this. So now just going through this list, you guys can see he's got Oladipo, J.R. Smith. He's got these guys ranked. Devin Booker, that seems kind of low at 23. Definitely does. I mean, Devin Booker, you look at his stats, he doesn't have the greatest PER, which is definitely a valuable stat, but still, he's averaging 19 and 2. That's crazy. Dude's been balling out, definitely has, but he's worse than Wesley Matthews. I don't even understand this. First of all, I'll say this right now. This is the first what do we call it? Yellow flag, red flag? I don't know. How is Devin Booker behind Wesley Matthews? And then the further we go down the list, the more confusing it gets, and I literally see one of the stupidest things I've ever just read. Like a couple of them. There's multiple statements that I'm just like, how does someone write that? We're gonna keep going down this list. You guys can see Manu, we see Rodney Hood, we see Evan Fournier, and then we get to Avery Bradley. Okay, well, that doesn't seem right. So he's got Avery Bradley linked at 14 right here. 14 seems pretty low, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. This is a guy who, he's in the All-Star balloting, voting, and he's a pretty good player. You guys can see this year, stepped up his game to 18 points per game, 7 rebounds per game, a couple of assists, a couple of steals. He's playing pretty well. 16 PER, that's pretty damn good. He's been playing really well, having a solid season. And obviously you know how much of a defensive presence Avery Bradley is. If you watched the NBA on Christmas on the national stage, you saw him get a clutch steal to literally end the game on Carmelo Anthony, one of the better players in the NBA. And now you're gonna read one of those stupid statements I was talking to you guys about. Avery Bradley has always been a hounding presence on defense, and he's still willing to do this, but he hasn't been as effective this year. What? And here's where things get fishy. He basically says that ESPN, they have this stat, which is defensive real plus or minus, which I've said before on my Twitter is a terrible statistic. Terrible. Alright, just giving you a broad example of why this statistic is bad. It ranks Kawhi Leonard as the 21st small forward in that category, in that stat category. There are 20 other small forwards better than him, apparently, in this defensive real plus or minus. So I just don't like this stat, because that right there, it's so deceiving. Kawhi Leonard, probably the best small forward defensively, and yet he is somehow 21. I just don't like this stat. I think it's very, very deceiving. Again, if you're gonna tell me that Paul Pierce right now at this age is better in this stat and that has anything to do with defense, and I don't like it. I don't like it at all. And then he also says NBA maths DPS also indicates that he's a negative on defense. A negative on defense? What does that even mean? He says, even if this doesn't always mesh with the eye test, it is concerning. I completely disagree with you. This right there ticked me off today. I'd seen his column yesterday, wasn't so upset. This today sent me into a furious, triggered rage. How does someone write this? Now, obviously, I am a little biased. I am a Celtics fan, but we're gonna keep going. We're gonna skip through this list a little bit here. JJ Redick, okay, he's a pretty good player. Beverly, okay, this is getting a little questionable. Does have good PER, but 9 points a game ahead of 17 and a great defender named Bradley. We're not gonna act like Avery Bradley's not a great defender. I don't give a crap about your stats and whatever. I don't care about NBA math, okay? I don't care about that. Let's keep it going. We go to the next one, Zach LaVine. He's a pretty good player. Okay, not too bad right there. Eric Gordon having a great season. Some think he's a potential all-star. He's got 17 points per game. So, you would think Avery Bradley would be in this type of range right here. But no. And we're going to keep going down the list. And this is where you've got me mad. Danny Green at number 9 this year. He is a great player. I would say Danny Green, great player, great role player, but what? 7.8 points per game, 3 rebounds, and a couple of assists. He is a role player at the most, and you've got him as the 9th best shooting guard in the league versus guys who are carrying their teams. Oh, you got me mad. Now, I will say, Danny Green is shooting a great 3-point percentage at 45. Definitely is, but this man calls him I can't even read this. He says he's back to looking like a two-way stud, averaging 7 points a game. What? And then we're gonna keep going through the list, but that one was the one that I found the most ridiculous. He's got Batum as shooting guard. Last time I thought he was a small forward, but again, I am no NBA writer. I am just a casual NBA fan. I obviously like my Celtics a little bit more than casually, but the rest of the NBA, I will say, fairly casual. Then he's got Dwayne Wade, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. That might be a little... I ain't gonna say that. Let's just keep it going. Bradley Beal, definitely been balling out this year. McCollum has been balling. Klay Thompson, you know how good he is. He could honestly be probably one on this list. And then we come to DeMar DeRozan, who, yep, definitely been balling as well. Definitely, I mean, I saw it last night firsthand. Dropping 41 against Celtics. He was unstoppable last night. He's got Giannis at number 1. I don't understand. Now, he's got an explanation why he's qualified as shooting guard. Honestly, I don't like that. But I do think Giannis has been incredible this year, so this isn't, that's not what I'm complaining about. I'm complaining about that other crap. So now we're gonna get into who exactly is this? Who needs to be stopped? I know that seemed to kind of drag on a little bit. Adam Fromel. I don't know, Fromal. Who are you? I don't even know. But apparently he's one of Bleacher Report's top NBA writers. Really? Okay, I mean... that's gotta be pretty good, right? He's gotta have some pretty solid opinions. Probably got a pretty good following up on Twitter. Let's see how he's doing on there. That's not that great. Oh, and then, oh, would you look at that? He's got the NBA Math right here. That was the site that he had cited for a lot of his rankings in a lot of these posts. He was talking about, you know, the stats on NBA Math. That's kind of cool. Then we actually dive a little deeper. He's actually the founder of this NBA Math site. I wonder if that's a little bit biased that you're using this stat of a site that you create and you are the founder of to base your ranking off. That sounds a little biased. Oh no. I will say a few things after some quick research on him. He's from what looks like the Atlanta-based area, so he's a Hawks fan. He's got his, you know, his team that he covered, I think, for a bit. And, yeah, that leads me to some pretty funny things that we're gonna see here in a second. But first, I just gotta look at these lovely comments on the bulletin board for Bleacher Report. This is lovely. Hey, Adam, you suck. And then, of course, the same person said, hey, Adam, you really suck. And then, of course, Jeffrey Thomas really wanted to bang his point home here. Hey, Adam, you really, really suck. Take care. And then I did see another comment that I thought was pretty funny too. Paul Millsap is a top 10 player. Lol. No bias there. Just know your Hawks fan. Again, I did the research. He is a Hawks native and fan. But again, no bias there. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find the article where he said Paul Millsap is a top 10 player. I looked and I lurked, but I ain't seen nothing because that sounds really funny. But I did find, I think, what this person's talking about. So we go back about 3 months ago, which is about 117 days. A little bit of research here. And look at this. Bleacher Report's Ultimate 2016-2017 NBA Redraft. So basically what this is where all these teams would redraft players, and I guess the NBA would be completely different. So basically, if you did a MyGM, Fantasy MyGM, on 2K, these are the results according to him. Let's see who would be redrafted according to this guy. Who would the GMs pick as, you know, their players if we were to do this? Okay, the first one should be LeBron. Okay, that's Carmelo. I guess this isn't the actual first pick. And, interesting. The first pick of this draft would be Steph Curry. Now, I don't agree with this. I'll say this right now. I think any GM right now would still pick LeBron James, even though he may only have maybe 8 to 10 years left. If that is that more than LeBron will play? I don't think will he play 8 more years? I don't think so, but maybe he will. Who knows? I'm sure if LeBron wanted, he could play a ton more years, but I still think any NBA GM trying to win a championship would pick LeBron James because he's the one who's winning and going to the finals pretty much every single year. And it gets more ridiculous right here. There's only one best player in the NBA. Yeah, that's LeBron. Oh, his name is... I thought we were done with this last year. Honestly, if you got caught up in the hype train last year with Steph Curry, I'm fine with that, because it wasn't unanimous MVP. Dude was playing at an unreal level. So if you said this last year, I may have not laughed at you. How can you say that after the finals, and after this year, what we've seen, you might be insane. And I'm not the only one who thinks this. We look at the comments, no GM would pick LeBron after Steph. Like, it just wouldn't happen. That's so, it's so head ass. Why? This man must be stopped. Go to number 2. Thank goodness he has LeBron James there. But we're going to move down this list. There is a very questionable player, which I think will kind of show you guys this bias that I had seen and that one commenter had wrote. And now you might think, well, comments can be kind of ridiculous. Kawhi up there, okay. Kawhi before Durant, a little interesting. But still, pretty good defender. I mean, that's not crazy to say. Anthony Davis at 6, Paul George at 7, okay. Karl-Anthony Towns, a lot of GMs love him, definitely for sure. Draymond Green, little interesting. There's a lot of good players in the NBA, but Draymond Green can do a lot, very versatile. A lot of GMs definitely would pick him, I assume, but before James Harden, who is the MVP candidate this year, pretty much, not even the front runner. Okay, yeah, it is stunning. Wait, but you're the one who's actually writing this. Like, what? We're gonna see DeMarcus Cousins right here. Okay, that's pretty solid, but what? Has Paul Millsap, who plays for the Atlanta Hawks. This guy's a Hawks fan. Covered the Hawks from Atlanta. I'm gonna call him a Hawks fan. He has Paul Millsap at number 12, saying Paul Millsap has been regarded as one of the league's most underappreciated players, but his production was jaw-dropping last season. He had a great last season, I will say. Paul Millsap's a great player, but in no world would NBA GM over so many players who you're about to see who he has ranked after him that include Damian Lillard, Chris Paul, and so many more players, but like Hall of Fame players. Chris Paul's a Hall of Famer. Like, what? Let's look at this. Let's see who he has ranked after Paul Millsap in this quote-unquote draft. My goodness, Jimmy Butler, he's definitely been balling out recently. He looks really damn good. Chris Paul, I know Chris Paul's a little bit up there in age, but what? What GM in their right mind would pick Paul Millsap before him? Kyle Lowry, ooh, that kind of seems a little high for me. Blake Griffin, definitely a stud talent right there. Damian Lillard falls all the way to 17. That seems crazy for me. So young, so talented, such a great player. John Wall falls to the Celtics at number 18. Even that seems kind of low, man. I'm not gonna lie, I'm taking John Wall over Paul Millsap every day since Tuesday, which is yesterday, but I don't even know what that means. But Giannis Antetokounmpo all the way down at 19. Yo, if you're an NBA GM and you pick Paul Millsap over Giannis, you're probably not still having a job. If whichever GM picked him on the 17th, I think he's already long out the door. And the list goes on and on, man. There's so many players that are honestly better than him. Kyrie Irving, come on, man. You can't be serious. You really can't. The bias is pretty crazy. He's got Horford ranked at 24. I would not take Horford over Klay Thompson any day of the week. Again, because this is a draft, so you can pick from any player you want. You're building a franchise. I would not pick Al Horford to build my franchise. I like him. He's a Celtics player. Obviously, I should like him. I shouldn't even be biased to him, but no. In fact, even better than Kevin Love. He's not better than Kevin Love. Whoa. And then, yeah, rounding it off with Gordon Hayward, DeAndre Jordan, and Hassan Whiteside all the way down at 30, which even kind of seems low for him. Obviously, the comments were pretty ridiculous. What is this list? No one is taking, yeah, Millsap over CP3, like, whose man is this? Someone come get their man. Maybe the GM was taking some shots before. Maybe this man was taking some shots before. I don't know. But, this is honestly one of the most absolutely ridiculous articles. This dude is one of the most ridiculous NBA writers, I will say, because most of these are slideshows, and he writes, like, what, 2 paragraphs per each player? Like, is that really what a writer is called these days? But this man must be stopped. We have to stop Adam Fromel and Bleacher Report from this absolute blasphemy. And I'm not even talking about the point guard list that I saw yesterday that was so bad. It was so bad. It had, it was just terrible. I know I am a little Celtics biased, which is why I'm not mentioning that. He had Isaiah ranked pretty low on that list, and it was behind some guys who I think he's definitely been better than this year, especially in head-to-head matchups and stats, like in eye test, like there's so many things. And yeah, this guy's got to be stopped. How do we stop him? Like, seriously, can we write a letter to Bleacher Report? Maybe it's just for, honestly, I think it's just for clicks. I think he got me. I think I've been baited into clicking on these articles. He even has a small forward one right here, and he doesn't even have Kevin Durant on the list. Like, really? Apparently, Kevin Durant is a power forward now, but if you looked at a couple of the other articles he wrote, he's got him listed as small forward, so I don't want to hear about it. He probably did the same thing he did with Giannis, where the most minutes at, power forward. No. Stop it. Get some help. Adam Fromel, I don't like you. I don't like your articles. They're crap. And I don't know how this is a NBA writer. How? If you agree with me and this man must be stopped, leave a like on this video. Man, but I hope you guys did enjoy something different. I just got so triggered by this man and his lack of what seems like NBA knowledge, yet he's a writer and covers and is biased. Like, this man is using stats from his own website that he founded that I think are pretty bullshit to make these rankings. Like, how biased can you be, man? Like, his bias is definitely showing, but yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. Just having some fun. Obviously, I'm not calling for this guy to be fired or anything like that. I just think, like, why are they publishing this? Like, why is this a thing? Why? And then we, as readers and clickers on the interwebs, we need to stop clicking on this crap. I'm sure he'll have more lists out, and there'll be more blasphemous things. If you want to follow him on there, I guess you can. I don't know why you would. Yeah, hope you guys did enjoy. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Must he be stopped? I think so.